Watch this if you want to know how to get perfect makeup that will show up in photos and last all day. We have family photos tonight, and I have 2 toddlers, so I'm getting ready during their nap time hours before our pictures. And this is how I got this look. All the products are going to be listed in the caption. I already did my brows with the Kosas Brow Pop Nano and the Rare Beauty Brow Gel. Now I'm going in with the Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer, mostly just focusing on the center of my face. Now I'm using the Dior Star Filter in shade 2. These are the products I use when I just want my skin to look perfect. I honestly need to compare this Dior product with the Say Super Glowy Gel because everyone obviously loves the Say, and I feel like these give a similar vibe, but sometimes I think I like the Dior one better. I don't really know. I need to compare them side by side. But I'm pretty sure the Dior one is also more expensive, so like if they give the same look, you know. Now I am just going to prime my eyelids with the Dior concealer. Also, these are the Flutter Habit lashes called the Bestie. They have become my go-to. Immediately setting my eyelids with the Huda Beauty powder. This just preps our eyelids for eyeshadow. Whenever I'm doing like a full beat, like I am right now, I do my eyes before I do my skin, just in case there's any fallout. Going in with the Giorgio Armani eye tint in the shade Cashew. I kind of just put this all over my crease and then we'll blend it in. I recently got a bunch of BK Beauty eye brushes and I am so obsessed with them. My old eye brushes were just like scratchy and I've never invested in nicer eye makeup brushes, so I'm so happy to be using these. Now I am just using the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, and I'm gonna go in with this like darker medium colored brown with a smaller fluffy brush. I am just going to deepen up the crease with this, focusing on the outer corner. When I am first placing this, I don't worry too much about it being super blended because we're gonna go back in with a clean fluffy brush and blend everything together. Now I'm taking that big fluffy brush and just blending those two together to make sure it looks seamless. I'm going in with this little pencil brush and using this darker brown shade down here. This one, I am just deepening up my outer corner. You can see that I'm kind of drawing like almost a little V or a number 7 right here. Taking a fluffy brush again and just making sure that this is blended. Going in just with the white shade from this palette and putting that on the inner corner, working it into the center of my eye a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of a shimmer on my eye. I just feel like this brightens it up so it's not just shimmer going onto dark eyeshadow. To add some shimmer today, I'm using the Patrick Ta eyeshadow duos, and this is shade Talk to My Team. I kind of just use both. This one's more white, this one's more like rosy pinky. I like them combined, and I'm just going for a little bit. I don't want it to look too crazy. We are now moving on to skin, and I am going to finish up the eyes at the end. I'll show you. This is the Rare Beauty Contour. I've never been like a huge underpainter, but I've been playing around with it lately, so we are going to do it today. And for my underpaint, I'm going for a more sharp contour. You already know we have to use the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I've been testing out different foundations lately because this has been my go-to for years and years. I just can't find anything that I love as much as I love it. So I have tried the House Labs foundation, the Giorgio Armani foundation, and I do think they're a great foundation. It probably differs from like skin type to skin type, but the NARS foundation I always come back to. Whenever I have an event, whenever I have pictures, this is the one that I grab. I'm just picking up a little bit of product at a time with my brush. I kind of pick it up and then dab it off on a different part of my hand, and then painting it everywhere that I did not put the contour, but I do kind of blend it in to the contour. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Kosas pink concealer under my eyes. This is just so brightening, especially when you're taking photos. Now I'm going in with that same Dior concealer we prepped our eyelids with in shade 1CR. This is the Dior Forever concealer. They have 2 different types of concealer, but this is the one that I like. I'm just doing a little dot right there and right here for highlighting purposes. Also right here, actually. If you've been on my skin journey with me, my skin is doing so much better. I've been on like my prescription creams from the dermatologist for literally a few days, and I'm like, why did I not do that sooner? You'll see when I blend this out, I don't fully blend it right here because I prefer to use a beauty blender to do that part, but this concealer brush gets it super close up to my eyes. Now I'm going in with the LYS bronzing stick. I'm not gonna paint this directly on my face. I'm gonna go in with my BK Beauty 106 brush just pick up some of the product and then stipple it on. I'll never get over the seamless bronzed blend that this gives. Applying it to the forehead as well. I'm really just putting this everywhere that we put that Rare Beauty contour. I really only do the contour and the bronzer layered when I'm getting my photo taken. So like today, family photos, if I'm like a bridesmaid or anything like that, whenever I do bridal makeup, I always do this technique as well. It just helps it so nothing will fade and you have layers so everything will last all day. Now, you know it's my favorite blush when I always use it for things like this. This is Patrick Ta, She Goes to the Gym. Powder first. This is just the most perfect mauve blush. I am obsessed with it. If I could only have one blush, it would 100% be this blush. Now I'm going in with the cream. I am smoothing out my under eyes before I immediately am going in with the Huda Beauty powder in shade Pound Cake. I love this BK Beauty 108 brush for setting under the eyes because I feel like I have so much control over exactly where I put the product. I'm also setting my whole T-zone with this powder. Also right under my contour bronzer line. Are we surprised that I am using another bronzer? This is the Dibs Beauty Baked Bronzer Duo in shade Caramel Cappuccino. And I'm just setting anywhere that I put that cream contour and the cream bronzer. This is going to set it, lock it into place, and I love the sheen, the glow that this product gives. Now I'm just going in with this pinky blush shade from my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette and putting that on top of the blush. Now I'm going in with this Rare Beauty highlighter. This is on its last leg, but there's still enough product in there for what I need. Now I am just taking this and putting it on my inner corner, blending this in a little bit to meet up with the other shimmer that I put on. These highlighters break so easily, but I just love them. I'm putting a little bit on my brow bone, a little bit down the bridge of my nose and on the tip. I always just apply that with this brush and then blend it with my fingers by patting. And then a little bit on my Cupid's bow. I'm taking that darker brown shade that I used in my outer corner on this little smudger brush. This is the BK Beauty 204. And I am just applying this to my lower lash line. I would say I go a little bit more than halfway in, like 3/4 of the way in. You already know I can't do my makeup without the Tarte Fake Awake. Adding some bottom mascara. For lips, I'm using this Makeup Forever pencil in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. This is dull, but I kind of prefer it to be a little bit dull. It's easier to blend in. Fenty Gloss Bomb Heat in the shade Fussy. Now, last but not least, this is the very best part. This is the One Size Beauty Powder Melt Setting Spray. And this is what is going to just make everything look perfect. I'm gonna let this dry for a second and then I'll come back and show you the final result. Okay, here is our makeup. I also ended up spraying my face with the Until Dawn setting spray. I just haven't used the other one enough to know of like the lasting power of it. And I need this to last for a few hours. So there is our makeup. I will do my hair, get dressed and everything, and show you guys the final look.